Hello out there in the podlands. Welcome to episode 226 of Convincing Idiots. This week, we're discussing all kinds of cool stuff. We're, of course, going to be giving recommendations of things that we've seen lately. We're going to be talking about Frosties. We're going to be talking about AI. We're also going to be having a discussion about going to the movies and how our habits have changed in that manner, as well as Oscar nominations. And for our final segment, we're going to be discussing comedy TV shows or movies that we'd like to see as dramas, and then also dramas that we would like to see as comedies. We're each going to be given some of our picks. So you know what? I can't talk too long. Dean's got to pee. So without further ado, let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got to hold poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the vodcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Floor Cookie.
Ooh.
I'm Dean the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And I am Millennial Nick, and this is Convincing Idiots, a weekly podcast of three friends who represent three different generational points of view, getting together each and every week to discuss all things nerd and pop culture. So, I'm sure you've probably already done this because you're a faithful listener. You love us. You love your floor cookies. You love listening to the idiots every week. But if maybe one of your dumbass friends hasn't already done it, tell them to go and find us on all social media platforms. You can find links to them by going to Google and typing Convincing Idiots Linktree. That's Linktree. And you can follow all those links to social media accounts on which we are on. You can also follow links to subscribe to our podcast and listen to us each and every week so you don't miss a single thing. Or perhaps you want some fresh new Convincing Idiots merchandise to put on yourself. Tax time's coming. If the government's giving you a little back, why don't you give a little back to the idiots who give you so much all year round?
That's a good
So go
idea.
ahead and buy yourself some Convincing Idiots merchandise. You can find all that information, and if you can believe it, even more on our website, and that's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So go check that out. Be sure to tell all your friends and family to go check it out as well. We appreciate your ear holes and your support. So yeah, we appreciate ear holes and all the holes really that
All
you
my
have.
holes.
All your holes. We appreciate your
Belly
holes.
button's it's like a half hole, but I appreciate it.
Sure.
I'll stick stuff in there.
We'll fill them
All your bodily pits. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you found your way to the bodily pit of the internet, into the podcast realm. This is
Yeah.
Convincing Idiots. So just because Dean has brought me so much joy, I'd like to start by checking in with Dean because he changed his name, if you're watching on YouTube, to Floor Cookie, which was a fun little
Floor
callback
Cookie.
nickname that we invented last week. So
Mm-hmm.
Floor Cookie, what's going on, man?
Oh boy, Floor Cookie's doing all right. Living and loving. I normally write some of the stuff down, but I actually didn't do a whole lot. I was in the middle of trying to get the sweetness on, right?
Uh-huh.
You look at this and you think, who doesn't want this?
Right.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I was
Pour some of that sugar on me.
right. right?
Mhm.
And I'm I'm putting my moves. I'm doing some of the kisses, right?
Whipping your dick around like a helicopter.
I didn't even get that far.
Okay, all right.
And then the phone rings, and it's an X on the phone, and then that's conversations happening, and then the cat runs up. I'm naked at this point, besides my socks, of course. And the cat jumps up on the bed and puts his ass in our face, and I don't
He
know.
wanted to get in on the action.
He was about to. I was about to, show that cat what love really feels like.
For fuck's sake, at least stick a tongue out or something. I'm putting it right there.
It's not sandpapery, but it'd probably be okay, right? Nothing kills the mood more than an ex voice and the cat's asshole.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I have that going for me. I mean, I did prevail.
I almost got it in. Oh, okay. That's like I almost got it in. So that's going on. That's cool.
I did prevail because I am a unique and magnificent lover.
Yeah,
at
overcoming the
least at least that's what my grandmother tells me.
Uh-huh.
I am good to go. Things did get resolved, and I'm smiling tonight. You see us? I'm smiling. I'm a good boy. And
how's Ernie doing? How's the cat? How's Ernie doing? Is he smiling?
I shoot him off. Once it got go time. I shoot him off, but then he came back up. I think I'm laying there, with what God gave me and socks, and he comes up and he thinks that it's a two-way street. Just because I can see his genitalia, he can come over and look at mine. I'm like, that's not how this works. So I have to cover up, and I took a little towel and cover his cat penis up, and so there's no peeking.
Well, guys, if you had cat penis on your bingo board within the first 10 minutes, congratulations. Take a drink. You won.
Yeah.
Oh,
what? Normally it's a free space, but
no, not tonight. Cat penis. Take a drink. So other than that, just that's about it. I'm doing well.
That's cool.
What about you, Brian? How are you doing tonight?
Well, no cat penises over here.
No cat penises. Well, your night sucks.
Yeah.
What about them bunnies over in the crater out in the corner from the bar? What are their dicks doing?
Those are female bunnies. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You got rabbit badge over there.
What's the bunny pud report?
Not much happening in that world. A nice weekend overall. Actually, a nice weekend, not even over. Just a very nice weekend, actually. So, Friday, Allie and I went to Merchant Tavern down in Merriman Valley in the Akron, Ohio area. I know, Dean, you've been there before. Nick, if you haven't been, definitely go check it out.
So it sounds familiar, but I think you guys have talked about it before.
We'll have to go, even if we go sit at the bar and just have some cocktails and stuff. It's a good place. They make their own. They have a distillery inside there as well.
Yeah, they make their own whiskey. They make their own vodka and wine.
Did you say it's in the valley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know we had a Christmas party there one year for work. Okay. I do remember that. Yep.
Very good food, very good service, drinks, the whole bit. Very nice experience. So definitely check them out if you're in the area. And then Saturday evening, I wound up going with our friend John to the Foundry in Lakewood, Ohio. It's a metal bar. I know, Nick, you've been there several times.
Yeah.
But
last show ever there.
Last show.
Well, I mean, until they move. Yep.
Yeah, moving to a different location. Not the type of metal I normally seek out. It was for good bands. It was all the growling type metal, that type of thing. But it wasn't. We stayed. I mean, as Nick knows, you walk in. There was like a nice bar area, and there's another room. There's a stage area. So he didn't drag me up to the stage area. We stayed back in the bar area, hung out, so we had a table. You could still see and hear the music just fine. So that was a good experience for me to listen to. But I can appreciate it. Not the type of music, again, I would want to listen to, but when you're sitting there and listening to people doing it, especially the couple that did it better than others, there was a band out of Boston called Slam Witch. Don't know.
Slamwich. That's a
Slamwich. Great
That's a
name.
great name. Yeah.
Great name. And they
Slamwich.
had
You get
they
a
had
shirt?
a female singer. I did.
Oh, yeah.
John did though.
Ah, you should have.
I got to
Yeah.
see a Slamwich. I'll make sure he wears it Saturday.
Yeah.
I want to see a Slamwich shirt.
But she was great. So again, not what I normally say, but she was very good at the guttural and screaming and everything else. I mean, she did it well, right? So check them out. I'm sure they're a small band out of Boston. Like I said, Slamwich, very, very good. That was an enjoyable evening. And then Sunday, had a relaxing time. Had some friends over and watched the NFL championship game. So, Dean.
Hey, wait a minute. I was there.
Yes, you did. Joey made it over.
No, nice.
Joey,
My future
holy
son-in-law.
How in the hell did I not mention that I finally met Joey?
You've never
That's all
met
right.
Joey before? Yes, you
This
have.
was the first
No,
time.
that's not true. That is not
That is
true. No, it's not. We
Being
went.
the
They
time.
went to. We went to see Ghostbusters with them. They were at Ghostbusters.
That's right.
Yeah, but like he hid from
I've
me
met
because
Joey
he-
like 3 times.
No, he
There's
hid
no
from
way
me
you've
because
not.
he was intimidated of my raw sexual appeal. That's what I recall. And then this week, when I met him, he shook my hand and it was clammy, because the nerves were still there. But he looked me in the eye, like a gentleman. So I can report that, Joey is a well-mannered gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't approve of him dating our daughter, but he's still a fine gentleman.
Yes. Nice, very nice guy.
I like the our daughter.
Yeah, he was the first one here, stayed the entire first game, and I really appreciate that. Peyton was out of town in Vegas for work, and I'm glad he made it over and spent the time. So
nice.
Points for him for doing that.
It's almost like somebody's been telling you for years that Joey's a fucking treasure. Like it's weird.
I've liked him since from very early on. So he definitely treats Peyton well and everything. But that's it. It was a very relaxing day. Enjoyed it. Certainly the second game, Buffalo KC, was a much better game than the first one, but very relaxing, enjoyable day. So looking forward to the next time. So Nick, how are you, sir? What's up with you?
I'm doing well. Not
Did you meet Joey?
thing. Yes, I did many times actually. Not many, but a few, at least 2 or 3 times. Not this weekend. I did not get the pleasure of hanging out with Joey this weekend, so that is regrettable. But no, it was good weekend. We didn't do really much of a fucking thing this weekend. We just hung out at home and got some stuff done around the house. Like I don't know. We went out to dinner. We had Mexican on Friday. That was fun. Yeah, had a margarita. That was a good time.
Very nice.
That's it.
Did you get drunk and touch yourself?
Yeah.
All right.
I usually do.
And this episode's not over yet, so
nope.
That's right.
let's see what we can do.
I'm already halfway done with the first one.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking
what
of,
having? So, what do you
speaking
have
of,
this
what
evening?
are we drinking tonight, boys?
Yeah.
I'm drinking Bless These Wicked Hands from Magic City Brewing Company. This is
Wow.
the first time they brewed it was during COVID, and then they re-released some cans not long ago. So that's actually, other than Aunt Marge, it is my favorite. It is my favorite Magic City beer ever, other than of course Aunt Marge. But
what is it? Is it IPA or is it what is it?
No, it is a double hazy IPA. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, fucking delicious. What about you, Brian? What are you drinking?
I'm taking your advice actually and going back and working on some more winter beer before I keep drinking Conways all the time.
Sure.
I'm having a Sam Adams Oak Vanilla.
Oh, that's so good.
Vanilla Porter. This is in their holiday pack.
Nice.
If you like winter beers and you feel like a variety, and you could probably catch some of these still left over in the store. Some very good beers in the Sam Adams holiday pack, including this one. So very solid beer. Yes. How about you, Dean?
I'm I went exotic, and I went with it's a brand called My Lear Latte. Oh no, that's Miller Lite. I'm sorry, I need my glasses.
Yeah.
But it's very good, refreshing, delicious. No, but I actually will take this moment.
Times are tough. Back to domestic beer, eh?
Yeah, you ain't such shit, buddy. No, I do want to take this time that we did stop and get our first stamp at Brighton.
Yeah.
Oh
for
yeah.
the Summer Camp Brew Path, and they have back the Duke, which is the smoked
Yeah.
black lager. My
So
fucking
good.
favorite
When
beer.
were you there?
What time were we there?
Was it today?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's funny you bring
something like that.
all week long. I'm like one of these days I want to hit Brighton on the way home from work, and so now that I know that's there, it's got to be
so,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the
nice.
Duke. It's a smoked black lager. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It is right up there with Rail Dog from Thirsty Dog. Their smoked lager. Love it.
Very good. Well, Dean, let's keep going. You want to recommend anything in idiot reviews?
I do.
sir?
I do. Let me. I'm not getting into to a read just yet. I actually just am blind. All right. We watched a couple movies this week. One I haven't seen before. Have you guys watched Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey?
No.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
It is this epic 2.5 hour movie. It's about the world's gone to shit, so he has to go into interstellar space to find a new planet and then report back. And it's fighting against time because once you go out so far, you will not age. The Earth will keep, relativity, right? Einstein's theory of relativity. So the farther you go out, time will slow down for you, but not for the Earth. So they have to beat time so he doesn't get back and everybody's dead, right? So they got to find this planet, get back in time. There's black holes and there's time dilation, and it's a really cool movie. You really have to pay attention.
Is he driving a Lincoln into space?
He wasn't driving a Lincoln.
Throwing that little booger between his fingers.
Right, full time. All right.
Driving into space.
Sure would be cool if they did.
Yeah.
No, I highly recommend it. I loved it. Some of the other people
That's what
watching
I love about Orbit, man. Everybody on Earth gets older, and I stay the same age.
I stay the same age. Theory of relativity, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking love relativity, man. You fucking wild, I tell you. But yeah, highly recommend Interstellar. And then, okay. So I know we've talked about this in previous episodes. I've only come to a few minutes into this movie because I keep turning off because of how dumb I thought it was. But we sat Carter down, Meg and I sat Carter down and made him watch Napoleon Dynamite.
Aha.
And so we watched it. I watched the whole thing for the first time.
No, you said you've seen it before.
No. I said I
you hate
tried
it. How do you hate it?
because it's stupid.
But
There's
like without ever having seen it all the way through.
Yeah, because I kept getting to a certain point and turning it off because how dumb it was. But
Okay.
here it is. I finished it, and I'll give you this. I'll give this movie this. It is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like there was some redeeming qualities, but more than that, it was fucking stupid, and it was awful, and it's a bad movie. The dancing dude could fucking move. I'll give him that. And I get the friendship point of view. That was cool. I got that point. At least it gave it some sort of plot that the rest of the fucking movie didn't have.
No, it doesn't have one at all.
No, it's like, what is this movie about? It's like
nothing. Absolutely
kid
nothing.
runs for school president or something, and
weird
kids hanging out.
Then let me touch on that real quick, because you see all these hot topic goddamn shirts, vote for Pedro. It was a very, very slight part of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And for them to make a big deal of it, I thought it was going to be like more of this like grand idea because of all the fucking t-shirts society's out there wearing and is cultish behavior. No, it's not. And it's dumb. So fuck that movie. But Carter seemed to think it was okay. Megan enjoyed it enough because she had watched it before. She loved it. She had enough to buy the DVD.
Right. Well,
So,
it's a classic.
I don't recommend that, but I watched it. And now there's these actually real quick, if you guys are watching on Apple TV, Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn is fucking awesome. It starts out a little slow, but it's a 10-episode season on Apple Plus. He's a kind of a down and out detective trying to solve murder. It's on the Florida Keys, Miami type thing. Very good. If you get a chance, Bad Monkey on Apple TV. Now, real quick, I want to bring up, which we don't normally do, but there's these 2 trailers that I saw that I want to know if you guys saw them and are you interested in them. The one was Mickey 17. Right?
Oh yeah, with Robert Pattinson.
Dude, that fucking looks great. Where he comes
You
back,
mentioned that.
they keep
Yeah.
like killing him, and he keeps coming back and repeating, like doing dangerous jobs and getting killed. They keep bringing him back. It's like set in the future, in space or some shit. Very cool. Like it looks
Interesting premise.
Yes. At least it's unique. At least they're giving us something that's different, right?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, Mickey 17. Look up the trailer. I can't remember exactly when it comes out, but it looks really good. And the last one I have is it's just Sinners.
Nope.
It's Ryan Coogler, I believe, or Cooglin. He's the same guy who directed Black Panther movies, or not Black. I'm sorry, Jesus. Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah, the superhero, right?
Yeah.
It is based in like the 1930s.
Everything you've said about this movie so far sounds like a question. I'm not sure that you're qualified to tell us about this trailer.
Okay, let me get right. Okay, I understand.
I think it's Coogler. Black Panther he worked on, maybe? Is that a superhero? I don't know. It's set in the 30s or the 50s or something.
Anyways, you watch the beginning of the trailer, you think it's going to be about Robert Johnson or somebody like him in the 1930s in the Crossroads. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that story. It's like they're doing a blues guy singing the blues, and he wants to get signed, looking to make famous. It's like in a little bar in the Delta, and it turns out to totally turn around by the end of the trailer, and it's a vampire movie.
Yeah, trying to leave the
okay.
troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their homeland to start again, only to discover that even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. So it's Ryan Coogler, like you said. Michael B. Jordan is in this.
Yes. It looks badass. Yeah, you get a chance, watch the trailer. I'm excited about that. I think that one comes out in April.
April 18th. Yeah. Interesting.
Sinners. Look it up.
All right.
I've taken up too much of your time. That's what I've watched. That's what I've learned. So, Nikolai, you seen anything you want to tell us about?
I have. You know what? I watched a documentary on Amazon Prime that came out this week called "This Is the Tom Green Documentary." It's basically catches up with Tom Green now, and as he's been out of the public eye for a while, and it actually so like the Tom Green show and was a big deal in the early 2000s, late 90s. MTV, their own brand of like a late night show, really zany and wild. And it's so funny as I'm watching this documentary, I'm like, I forgot. Like you ever stumble upon something that you're like, it's been in the back of your mind so long you honestly forgot entirely about it, and then like you're like, oh yeah, like as I'm watching these clips of the Tom Green show, I'm like, oh fuck yeah! Me and my buddies used to stay up and watch that. Like, and his co-host Glenn, I forgot that man fucking existed, but there he is. They're talking to him, and I'm like, oh yeah, Glenn. And like, it was so weird. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It's okay. Like if you were, I would say if you certainly, I mean, if you were a fan of Tom Green's or, you did watch the show, it's interesting. There's nothing, there's no revelations in it. It's nothing wild, but it does catch up, like I said, to him in modern day. And he's just kind of giving you the documentary about his life and, how he started in Ottawa. I didn't know he was in a rap duo or rap group, and he was nominated for a Juno for best new rap group in the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, I forgot entirely how just off the wall and insane his show was, because I was not necessarily a Tom Green fan. Like I saw Road Trip, but I don't know. His brand was always a little out there, and it's funny because I wouldn't classify myself as like a big fan of his per se, but I really appreciate Tom Green. I have a level of just I just like I appreciate how fucking weird and unique he is, and just I feel like if I knew him personally, he'd be like a bit much to hang out with. But like
Yes. Yeah.
viewing him as a personality, I just there's something about him that I appreciate and like. But like I said, it was a solid watch. I mean, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and just a solid, little documentary. It kind of brought back good memories of watching the Tom Green show and the song and everything. And it was just, kind of fun to revisit that, his whole battle with cancer and while he's, married to Drew Barrymore and that whole thing and how everything just kind of got real big real fast, but pretty interesting. So that, and then I've just been watching some more of the, is it called Beyond Saturday Night, or it's this Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary mini
The
documentary?
behind-the-scenes documentary.
Correct. Yeah. So the second episode is entirely about the cowbell sketch. That's the whole hour and a half or hour is just about cowbell. That's
Great.
all it is. And about the writing of it, and obviously Will Ferrell's in it a lot, and really interesting. Apparently he, wrote that initially. I would encourage anybody to watch it, regardless of what I say. But like he wrote it for an episode where Norm Macdonald was coming back to host, and he wrote Norm Macdonald to play the producer in that sketch. And Blue Oyster Cult is even in it, talking about the sketch and what it did for them, and the song, a whole revamping of that, and how what a cultural phenomenon it was. But it didn't really do that well at the table read, and it kind of got shelved. And he's like, I'll just stuff it away. Maybe there'll be a right time. And Walken was coming. He just felt like there was something that he was just like, I feel like Christopher Walken could really nail this, and everybody that's in it, Chris Kattan, Chris Parnell, Jimmy Fallon are all in it a lot, talking about it and stuff. It's fantastic. It's really good. And they, to this day, they're like, that is like probably it's the single most popular sketch of all time that we've ever done. And it was during their 25th anniversary season, as a matter of fact. So like, smack halfway through as we stand to this point. So
damn it.
Very interesting. So yeah, just a couple documentaries. That's about it.
Nice.
So
That's
Brian,
good.
what have you been watching, man?
Just working through some different series here. I watched start to finish American Primeval, Primeval on Netflix. This is a Western. Primeval.
Butchered
Thank you.
No, I don't. Primeval's probably correct.
I could be right. Primeval, I don't know. But it's a very bleak Western. It centers around a woman trying to get out west with her young son. And it's
I've seen the previews for this.
Yeah, I mean, there's Native Americans, there's Mormons, and other bounty hunters. It's a whole intriguing storyline. Some incredible acting in this. He winds up
and that the girl that plays she played in the TV show Glow on Netflix.
Yes, that's right.
Correctly.
Yes, yeah. That's right. Betty Gilpin. She played like the blonde, like the whatever. She's great. Taylor Kitsch is in this. I've seen him in some other things before. He's like the guy that tries to get them out west. Just violent. It's not something to watch. It's not a family show at all, really. But there's a lot of violence, and it's a very serious subject matter, and just really kind of gives you a glimpse of how tough and bleak that time period was, and how difficult it was to survive. With many different facts. It also gives you perspectives it takes you into the Native American tribe. There's a particular tribe they follow, and then you understand from their perspective what's going on. I mean, they're not just violent people. I mean, they just don't know what to do. They have all these people coming in. They're trying to push them out of their land, and they don't know what to fight or to try to. It's a whole thing. So it's like 8 to 10 episodes, something like that. So if you like the drama, you like westerns and whatever, I would encourage you to go check that out. It's one of the Netflix's higher rated shows, and I started to watch Night Agent season 2 also on Netflix. I have to Fucking love it. It's like an FBI.
Is that a
FBI
night court
drama.
spinoff or what?
No,
Drink, everybody.
no.
Take a drink.
Night Agents are
You
like
didn't
a
see it
very
coming for me though.
Night Agents it's like a very secretive branch of the FBI or something like that. So, season 1, it tells a story of this guy that wound up getting involved. He became a night agent. He kind of worked his way up. He started out as like a low man and then he
It's a day
winds up-
agent.
Like I was
right.
Beat you.
He starts out literally answering a hotline, so it's like a code phone, like an emergency phone, And he winds up taking a call, and then by happenstance, he gets into this whole thing, and then season 2 picks it right up with his character again. Just very, very good. It's directed by Adam Arkin. The name, Alan Arkin's son, Adam Arkin, was an actor in his own right. He's got into directing.
Yep.
But yeah, again, if you like drama, that type of FBI type drama and intrigue and everything, it's one of those things where you just, all kinds of different things are happening. So you always have that tension, someone's going to get caught or, he's going to catch it's all kinds of stuff going on. But it's like 45 minutes per episode. It's a pretty easy watch. I want to say it's like 8 to 10 episodes. So, if you haven't seen season 1, check it out. After a few episodes, if you're not sucked into the whole storyline, then forget it. But if you get sucked in, watch the whole season 1, then into season 2. So very, very
I'm
good.
always looking to get sucked in, so that'll be I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You had
All
me
right.
at suck.
Mhm.
In or out. Who cares?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can do it anywhere on me, really.
Yep. All right. Well, we're going to get sucked into almost at episode 2, segment 2 of episode 226. Right after this break. Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell 2 enemies.
Three.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots.
Hi.
Segment 2. Does not suck. That's right. So pop culture headlines here, gentlemen. We'll start out with another. We ended last week with a nice story about Oreos. Let's start out with a nice, easy story about Frosties. How about that? Wendy's Frosties. You like Wendy's Frosties, Nick?
I love Wendy's Frosties. I love the chocolate is amazing. Obviously, you can't go wrong with the original, but I also really enjoyed the pineapple one. I didn't expect to as much, but I really enjoyed the pineapple one they did with the SpongeBob stuff. Yeah.
Dean, how about you? Are you a Frosty fan?
Yeah, I like the chocolate Frosties. They're good.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't get when the people's the whole dipping of the fries in them and stuff. Yeah, that's
I've
bullshit.
never done that,
dude,
but
you
it's
have to.
supposed to be a thing, yeah.
Yeah. So many
Best.
people are into that shit.
Yeah, the sweet and the salty, I guess, and all that. I don't know, but
Like, where do you get the satisfaction in that?
I don't know.
Do you not
did
like
try
Snow
it.
Caps and popcorn or M&Ms and popcorn?
No, I don't need the salty sweet. I like pure sweetness. I don't need the mixture. I want pure sweetness is what gives me the satisfaction. That's why I go to Blake Insurance. That is the pure sweetness that I need, Nikolai. Let me tell you,
Yes.
because Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them that this salty dog told you to call his sweet self.
I thought you were going to say ass.
Yeah, but it was
Sweet
Aaron.
ass.
You know, I wanted to play nice. Aaron is a gentleman and a godly man. I do not want to besmirch his name by cursing and such for his his read.
Okay.
Which I did hang out with him the other day. It was delightful.
All right. Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Fuck yeah.
So, Frosties, they have various specials, like limited editions. There was a salted caramel one around the holidays, which Allie tried. That was quite good. Girl Scout cookies
Ooh, the
are
Thin
now on
Mint.
sale. Yeah, Thin Mint.
I want to try that one.
Actually started this week on the 27th. So that would have been Wednesday? No, Tuesday. So a Thin Mint Frosty. So it's
interesting.
Yeah.
Fuck gas or electric. I want to get a job just so I can go try that Frosty.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back. They announced it on the 27th. The Frosty will be available Friday, February 21st for a limited time. So there you go. So go to your local Wendy's Friday the 21st and try yourself a Thin Mint Frosty.
I'm going to.
I love Thin Mints and I love Frosties.
Yeah.
Almost as much as I love matching my friends.
There you go. Reboots are
fucking creeping me out. I don't think I care for this. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, go to our YouTube channel and tune in to this episode, because Nick and Brian are wearing matching flannels like they just woke up from with each other. I don't
hood?
know.
Same color though and everything. Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
I was watching you in the last segment, and I'm like, God, that looks like that shirt I have. And then I was like, I almost said something. I'm like, I'm going to come back for the second segment and see if anybody says anything. And nobody said. It's like,
I did.
And I don't know about on your guys' screen, but Brian and I are right next to each other, and Dean's on the bottom on mine. So we're like literally like dressed the same.
Nick, I'm always on the bottom.
Just ask Ernie. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Hey-o.
Ernie can be on top if he wants.
Okay, so reboots are fairly popular. So a show I'd never thought might get rebooted. It was very popular in the 1970s. I remember watching this, probably Sunday night television. My parents watched it all the time. I would watch it on occasion with them, but there's been an announced reboot for Netflix of Little House on the Prairie. Nick, you probably never heard or saw this in your entire life.
Now, give me a break.
Yes?
I have heard of it.
Yeah?
I've heard of it.
With the manly Michael Landon?
Okay, that's too much. I don't know what the hell that is, but I have heard of Little House on the Prairie. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I am cultured. All right. I know that's a thing.
Dean, was this on in the house around MASH episodes, Little House on the Prairie, as you grew up?
I don't recall. It was always one of those where it was on after the show you watched.
Yeah.
So you caught a little bit of it. I don't recall my parents ever tuning into it. I just remember it always was the show after the show you watched.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you'd said you'd watch a couple episodes here and there, but I don't recall ever being a fan or sitting and tuning in every week. No.
Yeah, it was a story of it was a family that was settling in the West, so it took place kind of in that era, and it was just a family type drama show. Different things happen. They were settling into that a small town.
Actually, I thought it was a comedy, and they all died from typhoid.
No, but they had some pretty serious subject matter. Yeah, it ran from 74 to 83, and the reruns are still popular, it says, on Peacock. So, let's see, more than 13 billion minutes were viewed of the original series in 2024 alone. So I'm sure people are watching the views and seeing it's still a fairly popular show, and Netflix ordered a reboot. I don't know who's going to be in it. But we'll look for that coming soon on.
So they
Netflix.
did this simply because a lot of people are streaming the original.
I'm assuming someone must have picked up on the fact that the original is still very popular. So someone said, "Hey, why not try to develop a reboot and see if it takes off?" So they.
how do you replace Michael Landon? Like, that's, as an actor, imagine coming in and going,
Yeah.
you're playing the role that Michael Landon did in Little House on the Prairie. That's
Yeah.
a huge fucking role to fill.
It is. Yeah.
That's something else. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
What is Little
Uh,
House on the Prairie about? Is it like frontier times?
It's about
What is
this
Yeah,
it?
little
frontier
house
time.
on a prairie,
That's what
Okay.
it is. It's frontier
How little
time.
is this house? Is it like
like that.
No,
Big.
it's like a cabin they built. It's up on a hill, and
But
it was like in the settling in the West.
is it about the building of the house or is it like
No, it's just a family.
Each episode, it's about driving a fucking nail in. There's like 338 episodes. Each nail, one by one. It was
that's
very
on the board now? There we go.
No, it's like a family living in that period in a Western town, and
There's like horses and like
Yeah.
carriages and
yeah, it's like interactions with the townsfolk, and then different things
people dead at
happen.
35 and like yeah.
right. And Michael
Okay.
Landon with oddly beautiful hair for the period that it was supposed to be set in.
That's right. Yeah. Very perfect hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, for that period of time. Yeah, and perfectly clean shaven all the
Mhm.
time as well. Yeah, always had a shave.
Well, it
No,
just
but
looked like he
it's-
smelt nice, and you just wanted to nuzzle your nose into his neck.
Sure. No,
I think
but
we
it was-
know who's been streaming Little House on the Prairie so much last year.
Good. No, you got your tablet there. Google Michael Landon. See what it looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you don't want to do some nuzzling. Mhm.
Sure. You know, so he had that show as well. Like he was the what was he, an angel or something like that as well? I think it was.
Touched by an angel.
That's it.
Which one was he?
The
Was he,
angel.
The guy, the fucking
Yeah,
the main dude, yeah.
leather jacket.
Michael.
That,
Well,
yeah,
not
Yeah.
Michael. No, Michael. No. Michael's the John Travolta from that movie.
But he
God,
played.
he was an angel of death.
Yes.
Shit.
No. You're thinking of Meet Joe Black. Michael Landon played in Touched by an Angel. He played the angel who was touching people.
Mm.
He'd go around like grabbing nipples and stuff.
I know what
Like,
you're talking about. I
what
just
just
can't think of
happened?
the
I got
character's
touched by
name.
an
It's driving me
angel.
insane.
That was the tagline at the end of every episode. Like he'd grab a dude's junk and what was that? Oh, I was just touched by an angel.
Mhm.
Da-da-da-da-da.
AIDS.
Yep.
Thank
So anyway, check out Little House on the Prairie reboot. So AI.
Wow, we get off.
We haven't had an AI story in some time here, so I don't know if you've seen the news this week. So the race to develop AI is certainly a big deal. The U.S. has been trying to, lead the world in AI development, in part because of the technology that we have access to, and we develop on the microchips that power AI, computers, if you will. So this week here, a new AI platform dropped, Deepseek. Have you seen this on the news or not? But it's a Chinese artificial intelligence firm, and they claim
No sense in
that
hiding it. Let's just say what we're about to do in the name of the product. Go ahead.
what, DeepSeek?
Yeah. Just collect your fucking information.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know if it's available to the public just yet. Well, maybe it is. It's a new AI model. What they're saying is it outperforms OpenAI, so like ChatGPT and stuff like that. And they're also claiming that the model costs just $5.6 million to train, which is pretty cheap in comparison to other models. And they're also claiming that the chips that they use, they don't use as many and they're cheaper. So there's still a lot to investigate of how cheap this thing is, but it really hit the stock market pretty hard. So NVIDIA, who owns the other type of, so they're the developers, I guess, of the other, ChatGPT, etc. So it erased close to 600 billion from their market capitalization on Monday. It's the biggest single day drop for any company in U.S. history after this was announced. So I don't know much to say about it. There's a lot of things to talk about, but certainly raising a lot of concerns and questions about, is this thing really as cheap as it is, and is it going to continue to make an impact in the AI market? So I'll just kind of put that out there. Have you heard about it or what? So, Nick, any thoughts you have on a new AI that may disrupt U.S. development? Go
Well, I
ahead.
was talking to some friends last night, and one of which who said that he kind of played around with it the other day. He's like, and it's very, very good. It's really fucking good.
The
It's like,
Deepseek?
oh, that's good. Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty good. So I don't know. It's I don't know. We've done a lot of episodes talking about AI, and stuff is moving so rapidly, and there's a race to try to be the first one to perfect it and use it and all this stuff. And meanwhile, I'm sitting here, my brain's broken because I can't stop trying to figure out what the name of that character from Touched by an Angel was. I cannot think of the guy's.
It was Michael.
I don't think it was.
We're gonna look it up.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Ask fucking OpenAI. I mean, Jesus
Right?
Christ,
I can ask it.
Right. All right,
It's
Touched by an Angel.
Common ass dude's name. Like, I think it's.
Is it Touched by an Angel? I don't think so.
Touched by an Angel. Well,
no,
that's the name I'm
not
looking
it.
for. I don't care who the actor is, actually. I'm just looking for the name of the guy Angel from Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel is not Michael Landon, though.
Okay. What's the name of the character, though? That's all I care about, and we can move on. I'm so sorry.
John Dye is Andrew.
Was it Andrew?
Gerald McRaney is
Highway
Russell.
to Heaven. My
Highway
apologies.
to Heaven.
Highway to Heaven.
That's it.
Was
That's Michael
the
Landon.
name of it. And Michael Landon played Jordan Smith in Touched by an Angel.
Jesus Christ. Highway to Heaven. Yeah.
I keep fucking saying it.
Della Reese was in
Jonathan
Touched
Smith.
by an Angel as Tess. John Dye. Alex Cruz. Valerie Bertinelli was in Touched by an Angel.
Yeah. Della Reese was the one. Yeah, Della Reese was the one touching angels, I think.
That's right. Yep.
Michael Landon, with his beautiful hair, played Jonathan Smith on Highway to Heaven from 1984 to 1989.
That's right.
Andrew. You know what? That sucks. I was so laser focused on it that once I heard it, I still wasn't sold. The payoff wasn't even that good.
No.
It is Andrew, and that's who I was thinking of, but that's not. I don't know.
Andrew.
Okay. AI. Anyway.
The same show.
Yep.
Touched by an Angel is that's what I don't even know the other one that you named, but Touched by an Angel I know very well. My grandma was a big fan. Robin's a big fan. It's on a lot at night. Like, I see episodes and see people that I know, that were in that young, and whatever. I digress.
Sure.
Andrew was who I was looking for.
Okay. All right. Smooth transition. Deepseek.
Yeah, right back in there.
Dean?
Deepseek fucking Dean. Let's go.
Any thoughts on
Radio?
any of this stuff? Go ahead.
How you feel?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't give a shit. It's all going to be the same. What we said before. They're all of it's going to kill us all. It's going to steal our women. It's going to steal our children. It's going to steal our fucking cats.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide everything, because they deep seeking everybody out here.
I still don't know what they're going to use it for. I mean, I still can't quite understand. I mean, I keep hearing it's supposed to make our lives easier and do different things and all that, but I still think we're still trying to figure out how to use it. Like, what's it really going to do?
Take over.
Right. Well, they're worried about other countries or governments using it to gather things from us and, like, rig elections and be able to make plays in our politics.
They don't need help with that. They're doing just fine. No, seriously. AI is supposed to be a tool, right?
Right. You're a tool.
But there's no doubt about that. AI is supposed to be, a tool for us to progress in society. That's what they sell us on. What happens, ultimately, who knows? There's a lot of people you could look it up and that find that will say that it's going to be the end of us. There's something, the other side that says it's going to help us advance to the next level. I honestly am not smart enough to tie my fucking shoes, let alone know the answer to that. What it comes down to is, can you make the perfect sex bot? That's really what it comes down to. I give me a robot that is realistic and can perform the needs, my animalistic needs that I have in the bedroom. If you could do that with AI.
So he wants a sex robot with a scratchy tongue and a cat asshole and maybe a tail. That'd be great.
They're in development. Look them up. Seriously, they're out there. Those robots are in development.
Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're a cock blocker. Yeah, give me the sex robot. That's all I care about. Anything that they put out, whether it be Google.
Oh, it's going to put out, all right.
I hope so. That's the goal. Whether it be Google or whatever that's putting out these not just AIs or the chat GPTs or any of these, they're all collecting our shit, our data, our information, our whereabouts. And I'm not being I'm not being conspiratorial. That's literally what these things do.
It's also not new. We've been giving it. Oh, we've been handing it over willingly since you've been on social media.
I'll share where I'm at here, so this thing works better.
Every time you click a checkbox that says "I agree," you're fucking giving all that shit up.
So we're willingly doing it. We're accepting it. So if this thing that works 1,000% better and is cheaper, is it probably going to look into our shit? Of course. But once you agree, and you should already know that it's going to happen, so either agree or don't use it. If you're that scared, don't fucking use it.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be fun to play with, or to help your job, or to advance some things and help mankind? Yeah, probably. If you're scared,
but is anybody going to use it for that? No.
Use it for the goddamn sex robot.
We're going to use it for sex and power. That's all that anybody's after anyway.
I mean, and those two are definitely not the same. Trust me.
All right, so we'll just have to keep an eye on Deepseek and its impacts on AI as we go forward.
Deepseek. Oh, I thought you were talking about Deep Freak. Oh,
Deepseek.
You better trademark that shit right now.
Yeah. You're gonna get a free sex robot.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Yeah. Deep Freak powered by Deepseek. Perhaps. You never know.
I like it.
Deep Freak from the power bottom. Deep freaking Dean. I don't know. Dean Freak. Dean Freak.
There you go.
I just want my robot to have Brian's beard. That's all I ask.
Sure. To make that happen.
And when
Oscar...
I it goes,
See how it's mildly satisfied with what I'm doing here? You hear that?
At this point in my life, I would accept mildly satisfied.
Yep. My likeness and or voice might be available for a small fee. Deepseek. So yeah.
Give him a call.
Mm-hmm. The Oscar nominations have just been announced.
These are Oscar the Grouch's favorite movies of the year. Is that
it
correct?
Almost could be. I was with my familiarity with them, but
he is a harsh critic.
These are best picture. Is films from 2024, and they're going to be recognized in February 2025. So, best picture: Anora, The Brutalist.
She gets slapped. Never mind.
A complete unknown. Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and I know Nick saw this one, Wicked. Those are your nominees for Best Picture. And then the best actors and actresses are pretty much from those same films.
Sure.
Timothy
Right.
Chalamet's in two of those movies that you said.
Which one is he in?
He's in. Well, you said Dune too,
Complete
right?
Unknown.
And then Complete
is the
Unknown
Bob Dylan.
is the
That's
Bob
right.
Dylan one. Yep.
I forgot about that.
Little
Yeah.
quick aside: did you watch this week's SNL, Brian?
Not no. I just saw the first
Okay.
very opening. I did not much of it though. No.
Okay. We'll
I need to
save
go
that
back
for
and
later.
watch it. Okay. Keep forgetting to go back and see it, but the opening I saw, the first couple skits were very good. I tried to watch it after the Foundry, and it just wasn't happening. So
Okay. Well, so you
yeah.
know, if you saw the intro, then that the reason I was asking. He was also the musical guest, Timothy
Yes.
Chalamet,
Right.
and he performed a couple of his favorite Bob Dylan songs.
Very
Interesting.
original. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Mm.
So
I will definitely watch it, and we'll talk about it. So, first of all, with those Best Picture nominations, how many? Again, I'm not seeing one. And normally throughout the year, I'm good to see a few, even just by normal viewing, or I'll seek out what is getting more attention or what have you, and I'll watch a few of these. I think this is the first year in a little while where I've not even watched a single movie that is on that list. I really haven't paid attention. I don't know where they are. I don't know when they came out in the theater. I'm just so out of touch with movie releases in general, and checking to see what's coming to the theater, with the exception of bigger blockbuster movies. So that's just me.
Like
So
Sinner? Never
I
mind.
haven't. Yeah. So that I'll go see. That's an interesting. So I'll just start with you, Nick. I know you at least seen one of those, but
yeah,
what have you seen in the Best Picture nomination list, if any, beyond Wicked?
I've just seen Wicked. Now I've heard of about probably 4 of the ones that you named.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of them you rattled off, especially at the beginning. I'm like, I've heard of the Perez one. I've heard of I'm Still Here. And then obviously Dune. Everybody at least has heard of Dune, and I've heard of the Bob Dylan one. There was only a few of them though that I'm like, I know what it's about. I know what it is. I've only seen Wicked, and I honestly, I'm grateful that I did. Had it not been for my wife wanting, being like, I'm going to see Wicked, you guys can come if you want, I wouldn't have really made the point to see Wicked. I'm glad I did. It was phenomenal, but yeah, I wouldn't have probably seen that one either. But yeah, now I have interest in some of the ones that you named off that I've heard of, and certainly, like, I'm not a Bob Dylan fan by any stretch. I'm appreciative of the storytelling in his music and things like that, but I'm not by any means a fan of Bob Dylan's. But I'd be interested. I like biopics and things like that, so I would be definitely curious to see it. But yeah, other than Wicked, I haven't seen any of the movies that you named.
Okay. Dean, how about you? Any of those?
No. Like Nick, I've heard of some. I've seen some trailers for some. I did not see Wicked. I hear good things about all of them. That whatever Perez movie has got a lot of good.
Amelia Perez, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amelia Perez has got a lot of good reviews. Conclave, I'm interested in. I like the idea. I'd like to go like like Rocky Horror Picture Show or whatever, where you go as your characters. I'm going to go as an altar boy to see it and see if I can get some action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is it just me, or just all right, you'll get into our Ask an Idiot question here. So just is your movie viewing habits changing with streaming? Like, are you looking to go to the theater as much? I definitely I'm looking forward to see like the Captain America movie on the 14th. I know when that's coming out, mm-hmm. I will go to the theater to see it. I want to sit on the big screen and all that stuff and experience it that way. But it used to be a thing, at least for me, that where you're looking for something to do on a weekend, looking at the movie listings was a very common thing. I mean, maybe we'll go see a movie and just go out to dinner and see a
movie phone.
Yeah, whatever, I just don't find myself really doing that much these days. I lose track of movies. I kind of tend to wait till they're on streaming, but I don't pay enough attention to what's out there there's so much another, so much content and all these other platforms and everything. So I don't know. So maybe it's for me at least anyway. It shows that I used to be a very avid theater movie watcher in the theater, and I'm just losing track and losing touch a little bit here. So I mean, I'll go back and watch some of these. I'm interested,
Sure.
but I'm just behind, and I think it's because of all the availability of just stuff that's out there streaming with all these shows and everything else. I'm just kind of, it's not as big a thing for me these days, and I kind of miss that a little bit. So I don't know. How
Yeah.
about you, Nick? Are your habits changing, or is it just you're not interested in? Are you still watching the movies that you want to watch and you find them anyway, or what's?
Yeah.
Why
It's a
aren't you seeing these best
combination.
pictures? Go ahead.
It's a combination of, for starters, yes, my viewing habits have changed in part because, um, first of all, if it's a movie that is not a family movie, okay, that's the first tier. Those are the easiest movies to see. Take
Yep.
the family of four to go see a movie. That's the easiest thing. If we want to go see a movie that is not necessarily of interest to our kids, we have to have a sitter that night. And then when we have a sitter that night, maybe we want to do something else. Maybe it's not go sit in a movie. So
Those
there's
big dog cages, though.
what's that?
Those big dog cages. They'll
Yeah, right. They probably both fit in there actually pretty good. Yeah.
be fine.
So there's that, and then there's like also you mentioned, and same deal. Like whenever we go out to dinner and a movie, that I love doing that. The problem is that has changed as well. Actually, to take a family of four to dinner
Mm,
is cheaper than to take a family of four to the movies and then get like popcorn and candy. It
that's
is
true.
actually cheaper to go sit down in a restaurant with tip and
Yeah.
pay for four of us to have a meal than it actually is. That's a big part of it. Is it's just like it has to be a really big movie to
Okay.
the majority of the family, or, we went and saw every Venom movie in the theater, we went and saw every Sonic movie because everybody's in on it. We all want it. We all want to see it. We've seen them all. We enjoy that. So it's certain ones. For a date night, not as bad if you're just doing two. There again, that's separate scenario. And then there's
Hmm.
that the second tier of that conversation is that, like, yeah, there's many movies that I'm interested in seeing, but given the choice to go out and spend $70 to go see it in the theater, hey, I'm already paying $10.99 a month for the streaming service it's going to be on. If I wait another, 60 days,
Sure.
I'll just watch it on there. And that sounds a lot better. And I'll also have a big ass TV and a
Yeah.
sound bar. And if you turn off the lights, it's the same fucking thing. So again,
Hmm.
I do love the movie theater experience. It is fun to make a thing and go to the movie theater and sit in the big comfy recliners. And we go out to Tinseltown on Canton, which is a great theater, and you see it on the big screen. It is fantastic. But the type of movie that I'm going to invest that kind of time, energy, money, planning into that has to be something that really checks all those types of boxes.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the desire is still there, certainly, but it's just, I don't feel like it's super practical anymore. Not at least to do it volume, right? Like you pick your spots, or like I said, if we feel like going on to a movie and seeing Amelia Perez or whatever, the two of us, that's a lot more affordable, but a lot of things have to line up for that to work out. And then also, when you get a sitter and you have the night to yourself, is
You
that
have
what
to
you want
actually
to do
want to
that
spend
night?
time with just her.
Yeah, right. It's a lot. It's a lot of things that all line up, right? The stars aligning. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's a little bit of all. I do appreciate the movie theater experience. But it has definitely changed. Everything's changed. Streaming's changed it. The economics of it has more than anything impacted it. But yeah, still love going to dinner and a movie and doing that. But it's just it can't happen as often or as frequently. Less, like I said, again, I'm talking from my personal standpoint. I'm taking a family of four to do all this stuff,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit different. But yeah, for two people, it's certainly doable more often.
That makes sense. I mean, the economy is certainly a factor. You're right. I mean, you certainly see these kids' movies continue to make a killing, in part because of something you just said right there. I mean, if a family is going to go out, you're probably, like you're doing,
Mhm.
going to just find a movie you can take the whole family to and go out as a family and invest the money, and you're going to watch, you know, Inside Out 2,
Right.
Moana 2, and those types of movies where it's maybe not the parents' first choice, but you're going out as a family and you're spending the money, and there's no surprise. And they're good movies too, I'm sure.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
so it's not a shock that those movies maybe tend to make more money, if you're going to go out and spend the money that you're going to spend on. I don't know. Dean,
And also, might I say, so real quick, one more thing.
Yeah. Oh,
At the movie theaters, especially like at Tinseltown and stuff, I don't know if you guys have been out there lately or those types of like bigger theaters. Like we have the Lake Cinema in town, which is, a very fine theater, very nice and everything like that.
The chairs.
But it's not the merchandising. Dude, there's popcorn buckets for every different big movie that comes out. There are T-shirts for sale. There are plushes. It's full-on merch stands of movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like Wicked has wands for sale. Oliver got a flying monkey with the little Wicked thing on it, and there's different tiers of popcorn buckets, souvenirs.
Yeah.
And, the merchandising of it is like we've never seen before. It used to be like souvenir cups and popcorn pails, and now it's like you want to buy T-shirts, you want to buy plushes, you want to buy like coins and different things. Like it's crazy.
Well, even down to the apps now too. I've noticed that you get the movie theater app, and then if you're inclined, you make your snack order and you buy it right before you leave the house, and you show up and you go down there and your popcorn and everything else is ready off to the side. No standing in line. It makes it, makes it just easier to spend a little bit of money. And then you have the convenience of you go down there and all your shit's ready and you just grab it and go. But you're certainly giving them more money. So
I shit you not, I had a thing on my Fandango that was an offer when Venom 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $100, and you got like I think it was 2 tickets to the movie and the works, right? The vibrating seats, the big thing, the whole fucking experience, 3D, everything. 2 of those tickets, and then you got a poster, and you got the Venom Head popcorn bucket, and you got a T-shirt, and you got a commemorative pin. Which most of this merchandise they have to mail to your house. Like you're not going to have it the day you go to see the movie. But it was like $100.
God.
And when you really break it down, it probably is a good deal for what you're getting. But like it's just wild. But Dean, do you guys? I mean, you guys like to go to the movies a lot and stuff like that. I know you and Megan get to go to movies and stuff a lot.
I don't even know where to begin after the Doublemint twins just went on this rant here. So let me explain to Nick a few different things. First of all, everybody's complaining about this, the taking the 4 kids and how expensive. Try divorce. You only get them like half the time. So, look into that. Second of all, the whole thing's, dude. When you go out to dinner, you order 2 steaks, you put 1 in your pocket, you got snacks for the rest of the fucking night. You're good. Third of all,
just pull out a pocket meat out of your pocket.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So, third of all, in reality, I don't think it is the idea of that you don't get to see it because, like, anything you guys said, you guys are wrong. What is correct? Excuse me, I'm burping because I was just drinking a lot of beer. What is correct is that if you go back, we have had this conversation over and over for the past 4 years, right? Or 5 years. When the Oscars come around, we don't see them because they're not made for us. Those kind of movies are made for us to see streaming, and for like people that like want they put them out at certain times for Oscar contention. A lot of these movies, and I'm not saying anything bad about the movies. I'm sure the majority of them are just fine, but I appreciate what they did at the Golden Globes, where they had the category for blockbuster movie, whatever they said it was. But apparently, the award was for like movies that the fucking public went to actually saw, and Wicked won.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that because like that's what the majority of people are going. So like I don't feel bad for like not seeing Conclave or Julie Andrews or whatever the fuck that movie was called. I don't feel bad about it because I do go see movies, not as often as I'd like to because of this, that, the other in life. I don't go
Because
see them
50% of the time I do have to have my kids.
right, but the idea is that we go see movies that are appealing to probably us and the majority of people out there in society. So all of these Oscar movies, and if you go back and listen to our previous shows of the past 4 years, we say the same thing. Nope, didn't see it. Maybe I saw this one. Or I saw a couple. It's not like, if they would, when they showed the for the Golden Globes and they had the award for all the blockbusters, we saw the majority of those. So did everybody else.
Right.
So
That's true.
I don't feel bad. I don't think of that and go, oh wow, I didn't get out the movies because I didn't see Conclave or the fucking Singing Toto movie. I just go to see other movies. So
yeah, you're so right though. It happens all the time where like we don't take note of these movies until they're up for awards, and then we're like, well, now I should go check it out because apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. All good points. And it is released everywhere too. I guess the other thing too. It's like if you don't have some of these streaming services, you're just not going to know.
Right.
Or again, and there's so much about it's hard to keep track of what's new, that's out there, unless you're really paying attention. And you have to have that streaming service. So, yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I don't think it's ever going to. I don't think it's going to go back. I think you're going to continue to see what we're seeing now, and that is, the family, the good, solid, positive word of mouth, family friendly movies are going to continue to make a killing. All the reasons that Nick said, if we're going to go out and invest money, it's a tough economy. The average family can't go out every weekend to do anything, so if we're going to go out and spend money, we're going to see a good movie that we all want to see together. And those of us like us are going to go out to see the blockbusters and the fun movies that we want to go and pay the money and have the whole big theater experience. But these average, good solid movie that doesn't necessarily matter if you see it on the big screen or at home. I just don't see that getting as much attention, and you're going to continue to wait to have people, like I said, watching these at home or after they get word of mouth. It's a good movie and it's up for an award or something like that. So,
and as far as the merchandise goes that Nick was talking about, Nick, I don't know what you're doing, but like my son knows, that you keep your head down, looking at your feet as you walk, no matter where in public, and when I touch your shoulder, then you are allowed to speak, but in a gentle tone, or that old lady over there is probably going to fall some way, somehow, and it'll be your fault if you speak out of turn.
Yep.
Nothing in here for you. Put your head down.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, the wicked open mouth collectible popcorn buckets make it a killing. By the way, very hard to find. Sure. Very difficult to find those.
But then you get me one of those cat ones, but for the ass, so you reach my hand in the ass to get some popcorn, then you've done something with your life. Call that the Ernie bucket.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys, we're going to take a break here and come back with our main topic, Dean's ideas, and we'll tell you all about that after the break.
It's going to be a banger.
Sex robot related.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to 3.
It's fucking happening. And welcome back to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. I'm Millennial Nick, alongside Gen X Brian and the infamous Zennial Floor Cookie Dean. For our third and final segment this evening, Dean had a fantastical idea, as he often does. He thought to himself, what would it be like if I took some of my favorite drama, television, or movie performances and turned them into comedies, or perhaps vice versa, comedies into dramas. So we are going to discuss perhaps now in the group chat this morning, one person was playing in movies, the other person was playing on TV shows. I personally did both, so I think whatever we got's what we got. So why don't, Dean? This was your fantabulous idea. Why don't you give us a start here?
Okay. Well, let's get some criteria down here, gentlemen. Do we want to start with like comedy to drama? You go through that list and then go drama, vice versa. Like
sure. Let's
because
not switch it up too much. Let's get into one lane and stay there all the way through, and then round the other way.
And I don't know what direction you guys want to go to, but I started. I mistook and did all movies, but I did go back and do TV shows. I did find that TV shows are more entertaining. That I think I like my TV shows choices better. So we maybe could go back and do movies. When we're done as honorable mentions or something like that.
Whatever you got.
Yeah,
I did TV shows as well. So if you have a movie mixed in there, that's
whatever your choice is. All right.
Yep.
I'm going to start. In this, we're going to start with comedy to drama. So you take a comedy that you've seen on TV or in the movies, and what would you like? That cast is going to be the same. The look is going to be the same, but it's going to be done in a comedy or in a drama way.
Yep.
Okay, so first on my list is the Flintstones. We're going to do it in animation. We're going to do the same cast, the same voices, but it's going to be a drama. We're going to get Barney and Fred into some awful weird shit. The wives are going to be catty. It's going to be, when the Great Kazoo's going to come around, that's going to be like that's going to be for sweeps week. I like this idea of a drama cartoon. We haven't, at least, in that sense, we haven't got to see like a mainstream drama cartoon. So I like the Flintstones as my first pick.
That's good. I like that.
Good.
Let's go to Brian.
Okay, so the premise here, this is a comedy to drama. So like you have a very nice, wholesome family in the 50s, set in the 50s. They decide to, I give a thumbs up on the video.
We like that.
A guy that seems nice, they decide to rent out they have an apartment over their garage. Seems like a nice enough guy. Moves into the garage, and it turns out to be just an absolute nightmare. The guy is a thug. He's into motorcycle gangs.
Knife fights, maybe.
Fights. He's got women over there all the time. He's disruptive, right? He keeps inviting himself to dinner. And it's just a whole uncomfortable situation. They just don't know.
Afraid to say no and tell him to get out.
No.
That's right. They don't know how to get him out of there. It's a very precarious situation. It's tense all the time. Is a guy going to go
around
off?
The same age. They don't want it to create any problems.
Yeah. The guy, he's prone to punch machinery to try to make it work.
And
that type of thing.
That's how scary he is.
That's right. So this is Happy Days.
Yep.
Right? The Fonz.
Yeah.
It's a thug. Scary.
Yep. That's right.
I can see that. Henry Winkler could be a scary...
Chocolate leather jackets and such. Things of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, think about that. When the Fonz was angry, that was pretty intimidating. But he's like that all the time. He's not cool. It's not funny.
No.
They're just very tense, and they don't know how to get him out of there.
When he does, this whoa and cool, that's when everybody's afraid, because like when he gets quiet, that's when shit's gonna happen.
It's got very, very. It's giving fuck around and find out energy. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
What's gonna set off the Fonz? You don't know. Don't want to find out.
Right. I like that.
Don't fuck around. Don't find out.
There it is.
Right.
There it is. All right. I'm going to give you a little gumbo of each of your first two picks. I'm also going to give you an animated comedy into a drama. This is also a family. However, not as wholesome, really. In fact, this kind of lends itself to a drama if you just kind of flip your mindset on it. In the popular animated comedy Family Guy, Peter Griffin is the main character, I would consider. And Family Guy is hilarious. There's a lot going on there. But if you just think of it in a different sense, it very easily could be a drama. Peter Griffin is a modest man on a modest income, but and he, even though he's
Slightly mentally challenged.
even though he's a family guy, he's got a lot of problems, right? His kids, I mean, he has a toddler that is very problematic. I mean, there's a lot to be concerned about there. He's constantly talking about world domination, and he seems to be a bit of a sociopath in the making.
Killing his mother.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got a lot of issues there. His oldest boy, there's a lot of concern there. He is a popular target for the neighborhood pedophile. Lots to be concerned about there. And if not, all of this was not enough. The cherry on top, perhaps, his beloved man's best friend dog is always trying to fuck his wife. It's just very there's a lot for Peter to be concerned about, and all this has driven Peter Griffin to have a very unhealthy drinking problem. So if you just kind of twerk some things in Family Guy, I feel like Peter Griffin could offer you a great dramatic role. Pretty dark stuff going on in the Griffin household. So I would like to see Family Guy as a drama.
I like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can see it.
Yep.
I can see it.
Dean,
All
what's next?
So my
Take
next
something funny and make it not funny. You do it so well. Let's go.
All right. So, of course I do. I'm going to do it right now because this next show, it actually lends itself to, in the comedy world, zaniness. But if you turn it to a drama, it is just a group of people doing just the worst things and meaning them and doing awfulness around everything, as they all apparently have drinking problems at the bar that they own, which is Patty's. I'm going It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Sure.
You make that into a drama where these people are just not only doing awful shit, which they do in the comedy, but they now have it's almost like a mean recourse to them. Like they it's not just like, oh, this playful, what I did
it's
here.
It's not that we're like, oh, we're all awful. It's like spiteful. Like it's like, no, like
right. It's like felonious shit.
Yeah.
I think that their actions could easily lend them to being a drama, and fuck, at certain points, almost horror drama.
Yeah.
Given how awful they are. So It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is my next step.
Yeah.
Brian?
Very good. I have a bar setting as well. So the bar owner, the premises, he's we have an ex-professional athlete, stressed out, trying to run a bar, chaos. You have a handful of patrons that are alcoholics. Every day they're there,
raging,
not paying for their tabs. You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to fill your void of your glory days of being a star athlete with, you're a womanizer that creates all kinds of problems, right? You're meeting the wrong women. There's all kinds of things going on. It's really stressing you out. A lot of drama. I mean, every day after day, a lot of drama in this setting here. Another spin on Cheers, gentlemen.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have having never seen an episode. I thought that's where you were going with the way you were describing it. So what? The owner of Cheers, what was he?
So
was he a famous athlete from?
Sam in the storyline was an ex-pitcher of the Boston Red Sox. So he was a star pitcher. He was well known. His career ended early, I think, with an injury or something like that.
Yeah,
so
I believe so.
So the bar setting is still in Boston and everything like that. So he had some notoriety, which kind of helped make the bar a little bit more popular. People come in to see Sam and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
sure, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nikolai?
My next one. So comedy and a drama. This is the one I want the most. And I realize that for people that are fans of the character, this is not conducive with what he is. And so I get that. However, as someone who is simply just not a fan of the character or really the two movies I've seen of Deadpool, I would like to see a Deadpool that does not share the the dialogue of a middle school kid. I would like a dramatic version of Deadpool, which is.
Sure.
The Deadpool movies are violent and gory and over the
And
top,
sad.
and I like that. That is a sad storyline. I would
Mhm.
like to see that. I want to see Deadpool, but more in the light of the Punisher or like the Crow.
Yes.
Like I want to see Deadpool
Man.
like that. Again, I understand that is not the spirit of the character in the comics. Deadpool is Spider-Man meets the Punisher, right? He's always these quippy lines, and he's that's the spirit of the character. But I personally don't like that. So I think I would appreciate the Deadpool movies more if they were in more of a dramatic fashion and had a serious tone to them. It would make the character more compelling to me personally, and I would most like to see Deadpool as a drama.
All right, I can see that.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
Dino.
All right. For my last one, from comedy to drama, I did have one written down here, but you know what? Off the cuff, I'm going to go ahead and replace it because it just came to me that this would be innovative because we've never seen it before. You could have so many different stories be told by having this show be a drama because there's no plot. There's no rhyme or reason. But imagine having an hour and a half show of just drama skits. Like, how cool could that be? I'm going Saturday Night Live.
No, that's good.
Drama. You get an
Interesting.
hour and a half of just a few minute sketches being like some of just the awful shit, weird shit, sad. You know what I mean? Just instead of comedy sketches, they are drama sketches. Could be compelling.
Yeah, I like that. I
Interesting.
like that a lot.
Interesting. Yeah, I like it.
And with the exact same cast. I'm not changing the cast.
Mhm.
See what they could do in drama.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be good.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Ryan, your last pick for this?
All right. So you have a group of friends. They are manipulative. They are selfish. They will stab each
I already know what
other
this
in
is.
the. They can stab each
We all
other
do.
in the back at a moment's notice to get ahead, to get a favor. We have one guy who's he's like an up and coming comedian. It's a tough life. He's on the road a lot. He's trying to make it work with his ex-girlfriend and be friends. It's tense. You still got that sexual tension there. They don't know how to deal with it sometimes. And you can add all kinds of other dynamics to it, like maybe the guy across the hall, instead of being a guy that maybe he's like maybe he's like a drug pusher or something like that. Maybe the comedian is a
Or
drug
maybe he's
addict.
Maybe he's a sad recluse. Like
Yeah.
he never goes out. Like it's only to his apartment.
Sure, he's afraid of the outside world. He has fantasies that he's working, and he's not. You don't know how the guy's really making money. What is he doing? It's a very
Nobody's ever
seedy
seen Bob's
character.
Back,
Yeah. One guy has a whole storyline where his wife dies. You don't really know, well, how did she die? And it's like by licking envelope. I mean, what are you talking about?
Right.
Licking envelopes? I
Yeah.
mean, that doesn't make any sense. There's a whole mystery line there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So Seinfeld in a different light
That'd be fun.
as a drama. Yeah,
I like that.
sure. I think some of those actors will be fine dramatic actors.
Yeah, Michael Richards,
Julia,
cool, creepy, weird neighbor.
of course,
That'd be
Jason
fun
Alexander,
fun to watch.
phenomenal.
Yeah, he could pull that
Julie
off well.
Dreyfus. Yeah, absolutely. So
She could pull off anything.
Yep.
She can pull me
right.
off. Nikolai.
For my last one, I tried to think of a movie that was maybe in many respects a comedy classic, and how would that go as a drama? And I kept coming back to the undertones of Talladega Nights. It is a comedy classic, but let's get down to it here. This is a rags to riches story of someone who came from basically not working in the pit crew, worked his way up and rose to fame in NASCAR, only to fall from grace, and literally his best friend ends up with his wife, and he's got this relationship with his estranged father that he's always kind of left this emptiness in him. And when you really break it down, there's a lot of dramatic, sad things happening in Talladega Nights. However, it's played brilliantly hilarious by the fantastic Will Ferrell. But I feel like, once again, you could easily take something. There's some dark undertones to Talladega Nights and the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. So Talladega Nights.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So that was comedy to drama, right?
Mhm.
And I do want to mention that we are aware that this essentially is done throughout movies and TV shows. For every Talladega Nights, you have a Days of Thunder.
Right.
For every NYPD Blue, you have
Police Squad.
Police Squad, or the one 9
Reno 911.
Brooklyn
Yes.
Nine-Nine.
right,
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine. But you see what I'm saying. For
Yeah,
every drum, they have the counterpoint. So we
Yeah.
are aware that that some of these might. I'm like, oh, they already did that. No, the idea of this is we're sticking with the same cast.
Right.
We're just making them do a drama or making them do a comedy.
Mhm.
And speaking of drama to comedy, I'm going to go big hitter on this one. I know that when we do this, it's going to be a lot of inappropriate stereotype jokes. But you could easily have fun with The Sopranos as a comedy. Even with the killings of different people and the drug running, I think you could still get. And James Gandolfini was such a great actor that I think that he easily could have pulled that off as a more lighthearted, joking form of a character. So my first choice is The Sopranos.
Nice. Now I will say it's one of those ones that I feel like I need to go watch.
Sure,
I've never
we were
seen The
saying that too.
Sopranos, but what? That
That we need to go watch that.
Oh, have you not seen The Sopranos?
I watched 2 seasons for some reason, in the middle.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask, is he he's the main character, so you're obviously endeared to him at some point. So my question was going to be is he a bad guy that you kind of root for? You know what I'm thinking? Like the Penguin, like Colin Farrell's Penguin. You're he's a horrible fucking person. But there's some stuff going on there. You're you're kind of rooting for him is strong, but you're just he's not the worst.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Okay. Okay, good. Nice.
Good.
Brian?
All right.
Brian,
So
what do you got?
one of my favorite comedies was Schitt's Creek. One thing that made that show funny is you took a family, you displaced them, and you put them in a town, in an area that they were not used to being in. They had to find their way to interact with the locals and that type of thing. So similar type concept, right? And the main actor he's a very good actor. He's a dramatic actor. He's also a very fine comedic actor.
Yeah.
In his own right here. So you have a similar concept where you take a family, the dad got himself into money laundering, right? Can't find his way out of it. He kind of gets stuck. The family they move into a town, have all these wacky locals. One girl's a hillbilly and already cracking jokes and everything all the time. He's trying to avoid trouble with the law. He's trying to avoid trouble with his customers, who are a lot of seedy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Ozark. You take the great Jason Bateman, is the star of.
Great idea.
Yeah, so you could change that a little bit and make that a very fine comedy. Yes.
Yeah, that definitely plays, especially all of the actors in it. Definitely would play perfectly as a comedy. I think you're right.
Absolutely. Laura Linney, Julia Garner. There's a lot of fine acting
I would love to
in
see
that
it,
show.
and even take away that idea. I would love to see Julie Gardner in a comedy now. I think
Sure.
she'd be great in it.
Absolutely. She'll be the Silver Surfer coming up soon too.
Ooh,
I know.
looking forward to
That's
it.
right. Yep.
Nikolai,
Yeah, Dean, you watched that show not that long ago, didn't you?
absolutely.
What's
It's
it called?
Fantastic.
Ozark.
I
HBO.
got it.
Or no, Netflix.
No
I'm
S.
sorry, Netflix.
Yeah, I was just fishing to see if you would say it plural or singular.
Oh.
Because that was when you were watching it and you were doing
Yeah,
reviews. It was
right.
Ozarks forever
Ozarks.
with the S. Ozarks. Yeah.
Ozark.
It's been a while. I was doing it on
Singular.
purpose then just for the shit, but I forgot
Okay.
about that.
All right. Here we go. Drama into comedy. So I don't know how strict we're being with drama, but it's certainly not a comedy, right? It was meant to be taken seriously movie, as you can. But it certainly had a little bit of comedy. I don't think it intended to, but I think the way it ended left a lot of people kind of snickering at it. But I would actually like to see a different version, a more comedic through and through version of Batman versus Superman. The way they somehow bonded was comedic, but again, not intentional. What I would like to see, I would like to see them speed through, in my version of the comedy Batman versus Superman, I would like to see them kind of give you a brief synopsis of everything that leads up to the Martha thing. And then Martha's kind of where we hit our opening credits there. And then from there, it's just kind of like an odd couple thing. Like it's just wacky going on about. It's about them being BFFs. And yet, but they're so different, right? Superman
One's
is,
messy, one's clean.
superhuman, and Batman's got the TV up too loud, and Superman with a super hearing can hear it from the next room. It's so loud to him. It's just all these things. They love each other.
Making just pajama jokes.
Yeah,
That's
they
uniform.
They love each other, but and they have a bond as strong as any great friendship duo does. The fact that their mothers share the same first name, however, they're very, very different. So I think Batman versus Superman as a comedy might be a fun little wacky thing to explore.
I like that.
Yeah,
very
Dean?
much so.
Good.
Okay, so. I don't know how familiar you guys are with this next drama I'm going to turn into a comedy. It was on Stars. It is the TV show called Heels.
Heels.
Oh,
it is about professional wrestling. Jason Amell plays the main character. It's about a family that runs a wrestling territory. And it is about kind of the behind the scenes runnings of a professional wrestling company, right?
Yeah.
And I think it would be great to have that as a comedy, like, because there's so many wacky characters in professional wrestling. You could, just the dichotomy of having like the most mean people on TV, and you get backstage and they're just like these goofy, off-centered, weird people. I think it would be fun to have a professional wrestling behind the scenes comedy, and I think you could do it with Heels. Again, sure. I know you guys don't get the show, or I've never actually seen the show. I know of the previous concept. It's now actually just come on Netflix. It was on Stars for but once it's done, they got showed over to Netflix, and I'm going to actually start watching it. But I do understand the concept. So
I think Glow was funny in that respect. It was like the whole behind the scenes, how they tried to build that league. It was some drama, but it was a lot of funny stuff there too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was is Heels? Is that a current running show, or when was that on?
No, I think it's done. Yeah, it ran like 4 seasons.
It sounds interesting. I mean, I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, it's on. It just started on Netflix. I think the beginning of the year.
Okay. Cool.
Great. All right. Well, I'm going to take another show. You have another actor who's the lead in the show. He turned out to be a great dramatic actor, but first known, and probably as well known for his comedic talents as well. So, it's a dad. He's a chemistry. I guess a chemistry teacher, I think it is. He decides that he's trying to make more money, and decides to try to
Stole mine.
makes create he gets into a whole drug thing, but the actor himself is just a great but he's acting it maybe more along the lines of the dad that he played in Malcolm in the
Mm-hmm.
Middle. So the great Bryan Cranston
fumbling.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a wacky cop or the other wacky police force. You got something there you could bring in, somebody else there. But
You might have to
Breaking
eliminate
Bad.
the cancer.
Well, that part of it there, sure, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
but
I like that.
yeah, you have a whole different spin on Breaking Bad. Sorry if I stole one, Nick.
No, you're good. That is literally the next one I was going to come up with. So if I may, I'm just going to piggyback on it.
Go
I
ahead.
had a little bit of a different take, similar in the regard. Actually, when Breaking Bad started, I remember seeing the trailers for it on 80, and I remember being like, "That looks really interesting. I'm going to start watching that." Same thing with Walking Dead. Just never caught it, and then by the time I ever they were before I knew it, they were seasons in, and I'm like, it's too far gone. I'm just not gonna at this point. But Breaking Bad, we did actually go back and watch after I think the whole thing was fucking over by the time we started it. But I've said before many times, even on this show, I know I have. That was one of the shows that lived up to every bit of the hype. It was every bit as good as everybody promised me it would be, and perhaps even better. But when it was first starting, my assumption of it was, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing. The chemistry teacher and the ex-student, and they get involved with, and I bet what happens is like they, in getting roped into the drug business, I bet they at some point end up getting hooked on what they're doing, or getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
And in Jesse's case, obviously he has a past with it and in and out, and he kind of does. It's touch and go. But with Walter, I was surprised after. I'm like, Walter never not once got involved in that. That was never what it was about for him. He never tried it. He never was just like, what exactly am I putting? It was never that angle. And I always thought there would be. So I thought, dark comedy as it may be, wouldn't it be kind of funny if that's how it started, but a couple seasons in, that scenario happens, whoops, you're hooked, and now it's a whole different thing. Now it's, again, addiction is nothing to really laugh at or make fun of.
Sure.
But in the dark comedic realm, if these people are hooked on these drugs in which the plan was to run an empire, and now they're just kind of, fumbling through life trying to still keep this going whilst being addicted to the thing that they're producing. Like I said, if you've got the sense of humor for that could be pretty funny.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
So, but yeah, Breaking Bad was the next one on my list as well. So, Dean, what you got? Breaking Bad? What would you do with Breaking Bad?
My last one. This one, I don't know if you could actually do in today's society, because it would be a lot of sexist jokes, a lot of male-dominated alpha jokes. But if you could put Mad Men from the 1950s, set in the 1950s, if you could take Mad Men with John Hamm leading at the helm and make that a comedy, I think that could be gold. You could,
Sure.
You're making fun of the 50s and the way society, kind of like the mirror that they showed in the drama part. But you could do it in a comedic way, how show you how awful bosses were to their secretaries, show you how ruthless these guys were, and how much how much they drank and whatnot. Yeah. There is, and John Hamm would be the perfect. We've seen him at this point, do comedy, so I think he could easily lead that in the 1950s setting of Mad Men as a comedy.
Perfectly stated. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, please.
No, you.
I was just saying that there's a lot of other actors on that show I could also see would be very fine comedic. I mean, there were some funny parts in that as well. But there are plenty of actors and actresses on that show that could, I could see easily being able to do comedy as well. Yep. And they have. Some actually have. Actually, since Mad Men. So, yeah. Nick?
I was going to say in regard to John Hamm, the path has already kind of been paved because his rise to fame was Mad Men. That's how he got so big. And I feel like there's always a little bit of Don Draper that like he's John Hamm is very versatile and can do a lot of different things and can do comedy and drama so well. But when he is in comedic roles, he is that he's a bit of a chauvinistic, tongue-in-cheek kind of character. I think the two main things I think of is like on the Saturday Night Live, the Vincent Price Halloween special, where I've just pissed myself, and he's drunk, and he's always saying inappropriate things, but he's like just this debonair, handsome man, but he's just aloof, and he's just kind of a fucking mess. Or in Bridesmaids, where he's just a chauvinistic asshole that's only in it for sex, and he's kind of charming, but also like kind of a piece of shit, but it's funny because like you know what I mean, like it's the duality of the character.
He played a cult leader in that Kimmy Schmidt show.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He was a cult leader and very debonair and suave and stuff, but he was also when you pulled the curtain back, he was an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Or hell, even the whole show could be kind of like a 30 Rock-esque thing where like he is kind of Donahue, that character, Jack Donahue type character, where he's like confident in himself, but like in reality, he's a moron.
Yeah.
So
he does that really well. That'd be good.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
That's good.
Brian, what's your last one?
Let's see here. So. Yeah, Nick kind of mentioned the show already here, but I'm envisioning, Walking Dead was a very serious show. Not many funny parts in that at all. There's a long-running drama trying to survive in the world of zombies and humans trying to survive and everything else. But a movie I didn't watch for a while, and when I watched it, it was just terrific. One of my favorite zombie movies. So you have Shaun of the Dead. So the Shaun of the Dead theme. So that type of feel where it's it's still serious because there's still zombies there and they will kill you, but it's a whole comedic tone of living in a zombie apocalypse. Take that theme and you put that into the Walking Dead universe. I think Andrew Lincoln and some of those actors and actresses could pull that off. But it's so you're just living in that world of zombies. You're trying to survive. But it's got a whole comedic take. You could do all kinds of goofy stuff with the zombies. You can have, they have wacky ways they're killing them or wacky ways they're using the zombies.
So you take one for a pet.
Yeah. Just you could play that out for a while. I don't know if it would run as long as the actual Walking Dead series, but I think that one Shaun of the Dead movie is not enough. Basically, we could see some seasons of a television show with that tone and feel in a zombie world.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice. My last one is in the same spirit, actually, Brian, and one of my favorite dramas of all time, potentially my favorite show of all time as far as dramas go. Game of Thrones. There's really not a lot of like laughing going on. It's very serious and very there's a lot of emotions going on, but we're very, very rarely is it laughs unless it comes to Tyrion Lannister. He was a comedic character, Peter Dinklage. But I feel like you could go over the top with gore and make it funny, right? It's very
it's merely a flesh wound.
Sure, like yes, in the spirit of a Monty Python or whatever. But I'm talking. So I mean, they did. I guess I shouldn't take that away from them. They did go over the top with gore in a lot of respects. But I feel like there's a way to play that could be done in a comedic way, and I always thought it would be funny to take something like that and just kind of goof it up a little bit, but also keep all that gore and all that shocking visual effects of that. So yeah, Game of Thrones would be fun as a comedy.
Okay.
That's it for me. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have honorable mentions, but I do have a point that I would like to say. So you guys say your honorable mentions, and then mine are not necessarily that, but something rather to kind of tie it all together. So, Dean, what do you got for honorable mentions?
I will rapid fire mine. The one that I pulled off for SNL, Big Bang Theory, going comedy to drama. It could be neurotic, it could be sad, it could be uncomfortable. With these nerds that are socially inept and them trying to get through the world. I think it could be weird and awkward and uncomfortable.
Sure.
Another comedy to drama. I had Seinfeld, The Office. Think about it this way: The Office was in kayfabe, in that reality, was supposed to be a drama. Like the what they were filming was supposed to be a drama, right? So you could make it, again, very awkward, very sad. South Park, again, just some of the worst shit. I don't know how you do it.
Oh yeah.
But I just like the idea of having a cartoon drama, and especially the way it's drawn and voiced. I think it'd be fun. Andy Griffith's show, it could just be a weird courtroom type drama set in the black and white, set in the 1950s. There's still. And then real quick, I'm going drama to comedy. Oz. There's so many wacky things that you can get with those prison inmates. And again, all those actors were fantastic. I think they could pull it off. I had Breaking Bad as well. And then my last one. This one is pun intended, I guess. Generally speaking, I'm saying General Hospital. I say that generally speaking because, like, I'm just going to say it would be fun to see a comedy soap opera every day. Whoever's at home, stay-at-home moms and dads, or people get off early, whatever. I'm trying not to judge here. Doesn't fucking matter. But whoever's watching these soap operas have to watch these dramas. Why not make it a comedy? Why not make some of these absurd scenarios comedic? So
I say, depending on how you look at it, in some respects, it already is a comedy. Like, I watch some of those and I'm like, fucking hilarious. It was so silly.
Yes. But
like,
unintended.
But it's not exactly. It's not meant to be. Yeah.
So, Brian, what about your honorable mentions?
I did not put down any honorable mentions. I just had the ones that we covered.
All right. So, with no honorable mentions, then
doesn't want to do his job like the rest of us did.
What I did want to say, these are not so much as honorable mentions. In a way, they kind of are. But as I was making this list, I found myself a lot of the shows that I was coming up with or started to come up with. It made me realize the shows that I love the most or that I really appreciate a lot tend to be either dark comedies or that they do both really well, right? Like they're the certain ones that I found that I thought of as comedies or dramas. I'm like, you know what? They actually mix in a lot of laughs if they're a drama, or they actually just real quick. This is kind of an honorable mention as they are a meshing of both comedies and dramas. Only Murders in the Building it's primarily a comedy, and it is really funny at its heart. But there's a lot of serious stuff going on there. Actually, I just wrote this one down when Dean suggested Saturday Night Live. I think you should leave. I've said it before. It's the funniest fucking thing to me for whatever reason. But there's a lot of like uncomfortable, weird, like unsettling shit along in there. This one might be the master of them all, and it's Shameless. Shameless is hilarious. A lot of great, funny. I mean, the dialogue throughout the show is funny, but there's a lot of really sad,
premise
and
is
serious shit. It is. The whole thing is very real and sad and serious. Barry on HBO, Bill Hader's show. That's another one. It might do it as well as Shameless. Man, that's a fucking dark ass show, but it's hilarious. And Dead to Me on Netflix. Christina Applegate and fuck, I always forget her name. I love her. Linda Cardellini. I love her so much. But yes, that's fantastic. Like, that show is funny throughout it, and it's a dark comedy as it deals with covering up murders and things like that. But the way that show ends, like, dude, I was a wreck watching the final episode of that. I was in full fucking tears. But a lot of the shows that I really love and stick with me, I find, are shows that kind of, because that's life, right? Life is a comedy and a drama in equal parts, I feel like, in a lot of respects. So I feel like the shows that I like a lot that do that it's because it it reflects your lived experiences a lot. So I just wanted to shout those shows out because I couldn't really categorize either one as one or the other, but rather fantastic shows that mesh the two both really well together. But yeah, good shit. It's a lot of fun.
Probably
Yeah,
shouldn't say Saved by the Bell. What's that, Brian? Go ahead.
Zach Morris's trash is actually funnier than Saved by the Bell was. Yeah.
No, I was almost thinking MASH as a comedy, but that's one of those shows like Dick just mentioned. There's a lot of serious shit in MASH.
At times on the line, teetering on both lines.
Yeah. Scrubs is another one. Scrubs is mostly a comedy, but there's some real hard-hitting, dramatic performances in Scrubs. Some real serious shit going on at heart there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you take Scrubs and you go, well, you could make it a drama. Yeah, ER. So,
sure.
Right.
House is another version of that. I would call it mostly a drama, but it's funny. The dialogue, there's a lot of quippy little things going on, and there's a lot of funny things that break that up in House.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, I've rambled on.
Well, some people will consider this podcast more of a
rambling on.
Yeah, more rambling on, more of a drama than comedy, perhaps.
I'd say a tragedy mostly.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid that it's another tragedy. That's coming to an end.
This too shall pass.
Yes.
That's right.
Like a fucking kidney stone.
That's right. Mm-hmm. This too shall pass. We must pass. And if you're passing through the internet, the World Wide Web, my friends, let me perhaps direct you to maybe a new way to get around town. That's right. Why don't I direct you over to our friends at RPM Bike Shop? That's right. They are located in Carrollton, Ohio. You can find them on rpmbikeshop.com, which is their website, or RPM Bike Shop in the search bar on Facebook will get you there as well. Give them a call today at 330-808-7792. And when you call them, make sure you let them know Nick is very sorry for forgetting about the ad read until the very last minute of this podcast. However, he does truly appreciate their fine products. Electric bikes from RPM Bike Shop. That's right. If you're looking for something else to do on the internet, I don't know. You could go find us. You can go find us on your favorite social media accounts. You could find us by just typing into Google Convincing Idiots Linktree, LINKTREE, and follow those links to all of your accounts on which you are on those platforms. You can also find our merch store link on there as well, and where you can subscribe and listen to this podcast each and every week. You can also find that information and even more on our website. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am your resident millennial Nick.
I'm Floor Cookie Dean, the Zennial.
Gen X Brian.
Have we hopefully convinced you to do a little bit more laughing than crying with us next week on Convincing Idiots? We're working towards comedy, but
we'll get there. Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.
And in our main segment, we talk about comedies we want to see turning into dramas, and some dramas turning into comedies. What's our list? We'll tell you all about that. That's terrible. Yeah. I got it. One more time. I got it this time. I apologize.
No, all
right.
You're good.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about? That's what I meant to say.
I didn't know you fucked it up until you said you fucked it up. I didn't.
Same thing. You could have just
bad. I got it. Ever thought about it? I'm going to use that. Okay. One more time. This is it.
All right.
Here.
Mm-hmm. Don't be intimidated by the fact that we're in the same shirt, but I did mine
Yeah.
first. Tell me more about it. In
Mhm.
5, 4.
And in our main segment, have you thought about some movies, comedies that you want to? Jesus Christ! All right, one more time.
It's
I got it.
the comments, the dramedies. It's fun.
Yeah,
Listen, fuck you.
The
terrible.
comedies, they're going to be dramas. The
trying to
dramas are going to
say-
laugh at him. It's going to be great.